How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. My name is Miles Gutierrez. Thank you for joining me today. Abigail tells the story of a group of wannabe criminals that are tasked to kidnap the daughter of a powerful underworld figure. All they have to do is just watch her overnight, and they would be collecting $50 million in an isolated mansion, only to discover that they're locked inside with no normal girl. Now, this was a movie that I was really anticipating because I really love what Radio Silence did with Ready or Not. That movie was one of my biggest surprises of 2019, and it was just absolutely fun. It was creative, it was something new, and I just came out really surprised with that movie. Samara Weaving was absolutely great. There was a lot of fun bloody aspects to that movie, and then what they did with Scream 5 and Scream 6, those movies hold a very special place in my heart. But I really love the direction that they took that franchise, and that's one of my biggest disappointments when it came down to Scream 7. But now they are reteaming with Melissa Barrera, and you also have Dan Stevens, Catherine Newton, William Collette, Kevin Durant, Angus Cloud, and Alicia Weir as Abigail. And this movie is just absolutely everything that you want. This was a movie that was really high on my anticipation list, and as we were getting closer to the release date, I was getting a little bit worried that it might not really meet those expectations. But boy, did this movie not only just meet my expectations, but they were absolutely obliterated, because this movie was just a lot of fun. If you really enjoyed Ready or Not and what this team really did with that movie and brought to that movie, then you're going to have a lot of fun with this movie, because it's that, but they amp it up a little bit more. Alicia Weir as Abigail is just absolutely frightening. She's just a ball of explosion, and every single time that she is on screen, whenever she is about ready to kill somebody, boy is it really satisfying, because they take this movie and they just have fun with it and knows exactly what it is. It doesn't try to go into a different direction. It's exactly what the trailer pitched. It's a horror comedy that has a lot of blood, a lot of gore. I thought some of the kills here and there were somewhat creative, but it got you invested every single time, and I really like the camaraderie between everybody in here, even though some people have less screen time than others, and some people don't really make that big of an impact. So when things start hitting the fan, you can just start knowing which ones are going to be picked off first. But Dan Stevens in this movie, I'm not sure who's a little bit more terrifying, Dan Stevens or Alicia Weir, because they are both terrifying in completely different aspects. Because you have Dan Stevens, who is really more of the tight end of the group. He's more stricter than everybody else. You have Catherine Newton, who is just the typical dumb blonde in here, but she has her moments here and there. And then Angus Cloud, if you're familiar with him, this is his final film that he did, and it's exactly the same character that he plays in Euphoria. He has the same tone. There's nothing really changes about this character. And then Kevin Durant, to me, was really the standout of this movie, because he is like a Drax character in here. He's not the brightest one of the group, even though he's able to take everybody down with just one single punch, but he is the one that really brings out more of the comedic relief. And every single time that he was on screen, I wanted more of him, because he was just absolutely fantastic and he plays his role very well. William Collette, to me, is a forgettable character. I don't think you really needed him in here. He doesn't really bring anything to this group, so even though he is included in here, I could have done without him. He was one of those characters that is just completely forgettable, and you kind of have a question mark as to why he is in this movie. But Melissa Barrera is really the standout of this movie, because a lot of this movie is on her shoulders, and she definitely holds her own amongst this group. And what the Radio Silence team was able to do is make this movie fun and enjoyable, but at the same time know exactly what it is. Because when you have a premise like this, you don't want to take it too seriously, because otherwise it's going to ruin the effect of what you're trying to do. And they really don't cross that line at any single point. They don't teeter on the line of being completely serious, but at the same time having some fun with it. No, it's just completely fun from the moment the movie starts till the movie ends. It's just a lot of fun. And the best way that I'm able to describe this movie is, if you've seen Ready or Not, and you enjoyed the ending of that movie, it's that times 1,000, because there is so much blood in here that if you're a gorehound, you're going to have a lot of fun with this movie, because it does a lot of creative things in here that I really enjoyed, and it doesn't feel like the movie is dragging on too long because you're invested every single step of the way, and that is something that I really enjoyed about this movie. It's just a lot of fun. This movie is made to have fun for 2 hours, and that is exactly what the promise of this movie is. It's bloody, it's gory, it's entertaining, it's funny. There are a lot of cliched moments, but they also twist it a little bit, and that's something that I really enjoyed. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Abigail a 8 out of 10. I had a lot of fun with this movie, even though it was high on my anticipation list. I was a little bit worried that it wouldn't meet those expectations, but it exceeded them. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the camaraderie between everybody. If you're a fan of blood, gore, and guts, then you're going to have a lot of fun with this movie. But those are my thoughts on Abigail. Are you guys planning on checking this film out? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've seen it, also let me know what you thought. But other than that, also let me know, what is your favorite vampire movie?